Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Abortion speed bump. The United Kingdom is questioning if women considering abortions are being given adequate information and is introducing measures to crack down on abortion clinics. The Telegraph says the Department of Health is announcing plans in the works that would force abortion clinics to offer women access to independent counseling before getting an abortive surgery from an organization that does not perform abortions. Proposals for the new legislation include the defunding of patient counseling at abortion clinics because of concerns that the clinics give biased information. This is the first step of its kind since the conservative liberal coalition came into power in the United Kingdom, and pro-life organizations say that the law could reduce the number of abortions in the country by 60,000 every year. The law will be voted on in the House of Commons later this week, and you can read the full story on our resource page by clicking the link right outside the screen. And in the United States, pro-life proposals are also causing a stir with new Virginia abortion clinic regulations. Many abortion mills in the Commonwealth may soon be shut down due to a proposal in front of the Board of Health that will label abortion clinics as hospitals and require them to meet the same facility standards. The Huffington Post reports that those specific details of the regulations have not been released as of yet. Policy experts say they will likely be of similar caliber to regulations that North Carolina currently has in place and those that were blocked in Kansas. North Carolina restrictions include precautions, ensuring sanitation and emergency response to surgical complications, among other things, and Virginia abortion mills that perform more than 5 abortions per month will be subject to a similar law. The new temporary regulations are up for a vote on September 15th and should go into effect on December 31st of this year. Sandbox to sex box. Thousands of parents in Basel, Switzerland are expressing outrage as the government forces sex education on their children with a program that includes what is initially being called a, quote, sex box. TheBlaze.com reports the box contains stuffed replicas of genitalia that are meant to teach kids as young as 4 that, quote, contacting body parts can be pleasurable. The education minister of Basel opposes parents' efforts to remove their children from the program, saying the government uses schools in order to have unrestricted access to children. TheBlaze.com makes the point that this kind of program could be headed for America as mental health professionals push for the legalization of pedophilia, and mentioning how Health and Human Services has labeled children as, quote, sexual beings. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Islamic Propaganda War. The Iranian regime is attacking Christianity by spreading propaganda and seizing thousands of Bibles in the name of Islam. Cybernet News says on its website that an influential Shiite cleric expressed public concern over the spread of Christianity among the youth, saying, quote, everyone in society should feel responsibility in this matter and play his or her role in the spreading of pure Islam and fight false and distorted cultures, end quote. It was also reported last week in an Iranian newspaper that over 6,500 Bibles were seized and destroyed. The Iranian government pointed out that the large number of Bibles as an indication of all the religions of the world, quote, strengthening their power to confront Islam, while saying that Christian missionaries were out to deceive Iranians, particularly the youth. You can read the full article on our resource page by clicking the link right over here. Denomination Dying Off. While the number of Catholics in the United States continues to decline year after year, experts say roughly 1/3 of Episcopalian churches in America will be gone in 3 years. VirtueOnline.org has done a study that reveals the average Sunday service attendance for their parishes is 40 or less, And while the aging die off, there are no youth to replace them. These figures project the dismal reality for Episcopalians that within 3 to 5 years, more than 2,000 churches will close simply because there are not enough people to keep the doors open. Many Episcopalians have expressed interest in converting to Catholicism after the ordination of women and homosexual clergy, and the American Ordinariate, under the supervision of Cardinal Donald Wuerl, is expecting thousands of converts once it is open. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. Be sure to check out The Vortex today also, where Michael comes to us from Rome to talk about the seriously dwindling numbers of Catholics in America. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tell all your friends about us, and as always, God bless.